On this day where we remember the late great Kobe Bryant, we keep that legal hustle and the marathon continues. RP to Nip, and we're back with another hot enTRAPreneur segment right here on Disqualified Opinions. What's up, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling out here in these hopefully COVID-free streets soon?
Make sure you keep that mask up, shorty.
Yeah, doing good. Just trying to be safe.
Free, man. They got a new strain, bro.
A couple of
Uh-oh.
them things.
Yeah,
You got
UK.
my man Virtual Rel over here from a distance.
You already know that. What it do?
Well, we keep the train moving. Nothing but illustrious guests. Another good friend, personally of mine, from the great Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. Went to Boston, but he's back home, and we're one of his first stops. So we definitely appreciate it, but we're going to let him introduce himself. Let the good people know who you are, brother.
What's up, everyone? Miles Maddox, Poly Class 2011. Was in Boston doing some engineering work, but now I'm back home now in Baltimore. I'm going to be working with Washington Metro, doing the same engineering tip. But I'm glad to be home. Glad to be around, good fellas and good people and good brothers.
Well, let's get to it. Rouse, why do we bring this good brother here today? Not only is he a sports aficionado, but he's doing his thing out here in the world.
So as y'all know, it's enTRAPreneur. We bring people in, black entrepreneurs in the Baltimore City area, and allow them to just introduce themselves to y'all. One day, y'all might be wanting to hit one of these people up for a job or something of that nature. So y'all know how we do this segment. We're going to let him tell y'all what he does, what he do, and then we just going to kind of brief into why he's chosen this path and what he likes about it. So just starting it out, let the people know what you do, what you got planned, what you got going on.
Well, graduated Morgan in 2016 for engineering, and for the past 5 years, I've been doing the engineering thing. But I also had a entrepreneurial spirit, little calling or whatnot. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to go into business for, but I knew I just didn't want to do the engineering thing until I was 50, 60 years old, taking, listening to other people, having to report to others and all that. I wanted to eventually be my own boss. So the lane that I created for myself and started to do research on was real estate. So starting last April, I closed on my first rental property, LLC Maddox Properties, and I have one rental property now that I'm fixing up, trying to get rented out by the summer of this year, 2021, and hopefully can turn one property into two into four, so on and so forth.
So you kind of touched on what my first question was going to be, which is what led you to the entrepreneurial side of things, because it's not really for everybody. I think that's something that everybody can really understand and just know deep down. Some people going to work 9 to 5s their whole life. Some people not comfortable with it. So outside of the whole boss thing, because I think that's something that we all can agree with. Don't nobody really want somebody telling them when to clock in, when to clock out, what to do, this, that, and the third, the micromanaging. Was there any other reasons that caused you to decide to take another path?
Multiple streams of income. God forbid anything happened to me, health-wise or something like that, and I couldn't report in the work. That means I wouldn't be making any money. So I wanted to be able to, quote unquote, make money in my sleep and have residual incomes, and try to turn this real estate thing and take that money and try to circulate it and allocate it to other things that I may like, and eventually turn some hobbies of mine into some multiple streams of income also.
All right, so what made you want to get into real estate, and how did you get started down that path?
A cousin of mine has a good friend that does real estate, but he does it slightly different than me. I like to hold on to the properties and rent them out because I feel as though ownership is power. But
He does his to flip and get rid of.
flip it and use like money from outside sources, the Jews and stuff like that, to fix the money up and then just straight flip it and wholesale it. And I had a friend of mine, shout out to Tyrone or Booty, but his mother is a real estate agent and has been so for the past 20, 25 years. So I brought the idea to him that, I'm trying to get into real estate. I'm trying to do some research, this, that, and the third. He was like, well, my mother's a realtor. Just get in contact with her. Went to our office one day out on Owens Mills, told her my budget. She went on the computer. She pulled up multiple properties for me. And she was like, we could check this one out, this, that, and the third. And the very first property she showed me was the one that I wound up closing on. Used to belong to a preacher. Had his son and his wife and child living in the house. They wound up getting a new house in Owens Mills. he had no desire to be a landlord or anything like that. He just wanted to cash out on it quick. And mind you, like I said, this was last year during COVID. So I was like, he basically let it go for a great price because he just didn't want to have anything to do with it. So I pounced on that as soon as he expressed his sentiments to me on how he felt about the property, and I got it inspected and appraised and all of that, and it seemed like it was in good standing condition. So I just went ahead and did it.
All right. What is success gonna look like for you as far as real estate goes? Like, how many properties before you feel like you'll be able to take a step back and kind of worry about other things?
For me personally, I would like my real estate money to equal or make more than my salary during my 9 to 5. Don't know if there's an exact number of properties. I'm just off the top of my head, I'm eyeing right now 3 to 5. I feel as though I can properly manage myself 3 to 5 properties that bring in enough residual income to the point where I could take that money and go ahead and allocate it to other things. My main concern is trying to, after I fix it up, set a good price to where whoever lives and moves in there pays the mortgage for me, and I get a surplus on top of that, and then in the long run, keep somebody in there long enough so they can pay the house off for me. So at that point, when the house is paid off, everything that I get every month is 100% profit.
Do you think the engineering side that you are so familiar with is what led you to real estate? I know you do engineering more so transportation and stuff like that, but do you think that's what kind of started the idea of real estate as a thing?
I wouldn't say it started the idea, but it definitely accelerated the process. Even though I work on trains, just being in the office and dealing with office politics and being in that professional setting, it allowed me to, be able to network in a sense and get the information and get the right people around me to just feed me the right information that had my best interest in mind, and not just try to make a dollar off me at the end of the day and just going about their business.
What would you say are some of your biggest struggles trying to get into real estate? Because I know a lot of people think financially, how am I going to purchase this property? Where is the money going to come from? There's a lot of outlets out there. What would you say some of your biggest struggles were getting into this and how you overcame them to close on that property?
For me,
Let me add something. Sorry, I apologize.
no, you're fine.
What are your biggest struggles getting into real estate, and what would be your advice for someone trying to get into it?
The different routes that you could take pertaining to real estate. For me personally, I use my first time homeowners policy or whatnot to make my closing costs cheaper, just because I figured, all right, if I make it cheaper for myself right now and make money, I could save more on the long term on the back end. Some of the struggles for me was closing out, because since I used my first time homeowners policy or whatnot, I had to adhere by FHA rules, Federal Housing Association rules, and the house in its beginning stages was not FHA certified, and they wasn't allowing me to close out and get the proper loan that I wanted with the proper interest rate, because it was missing things like railings going down the steps, the electricity wasn't up to date, the windows were outdated, lead paint and chips was around the windows and things of that nature. So one of my struggles was getting in contact with contractors that could do the work for me and do it properly in a good time frame, so I could turn around and close on the house and not lose it. And for me personally, everybody talks about black business, black owned, and all of that. So for me, I wanted to make sure that all my contractors was black. Like I said, my homeboy mother is a real estate agent. She gave me the opportunity to get into this field, so I wanted to give somebody else who looked like me a chance to work on the house and put some money in their pocket. Because at the end of the day, if I had multiple properties, I could just write a contract with them and have them be on contract.
Properties. Yep.
Yep, and have them on contract and pay them consistently to manage all of the properties for me, any maintenance or repairs and things of that nature.
Is there any advice you would like to give or think that people should know if they are looking to go along the real estate path?
One advice I can say, I know, some people invest in things of that nature and they looking for a quick flip and instant gratification and instant profits. That's not going to be the case with real estate. You're going to have to put money into it up front at first, and then you'll see the residuals come in later on down the line. So patience, I would definitely stress patience is key when it comes to real estate. You got to know when to hold, when to let go of the property, analyze the neighborhoods, what they're doing in the cities and downtown and whatnot. They're trying to gentrify everything. So for me personally, I wanted a property in the city, so for the low, that I knew that was going to be gentrified in the next 10 to 15 years or so. So, like I said, I want to hold on to my properties, but if the city want to buy the property from me and they want to gentrify it, all right, well, you want to pay me double to triple than what I already paid, because at the end of the day, you can't force me to move. So then I hold the leverage.
What about the engineering side? Is there any advice or anything you think people need to know?
What pertaining to what just in engineering in general, or
Yeah,
how it
based on your experiences and what you...
engineering, that was just a ton of math for me. I was up Morgan for 5 years. It took me like 3 times to just get past calculus 2.
Yeah, Calc 2 is a devil.
Yeah. So that
It's a lot that you got to learn in such a small period of time.
Yeah, exactly. And just on the engineering tip alone, there's just, you got to really time management and really take the time out to learn the material, because it's not easy stuff that you're learning when in the engineering field. But I know for me personally, my degree is in civil engineering with focus on transportation systems. I'm a car fanatic, so I originally wanted to get a job with the state highway, work on highways, things of that nature, but it didn't fall in my lap like that. So I was like, what other modes can I get into? I don't really want to deal with marine and boats. Airplanes is cool, but I was given the opportunity right out of Morgan to work on trains with the MTA. So I was like, I never even really thought about working on trains, but okay, let me give it a try. And that was in 2016, and I've been rocking with it since. I enjoy my job. I may not necessarily enjoy the people that I work with, but at the end of the day, the job itself is satisfying. But my time in Boston, I was in Boston from February 2018 until January of this month. So pretty much 3 years, and I enjoyed my job working on the Green Line in Boston. Worked on the oldest train system or light rail system in the world, and it got to the point where the people that I was dealing with and clocking in with on the 9 to 5 daily basis just wasn't cutting it for me. Like, it was a lot of cutthroat and crabs in the barrel mentality, even when it came to the office and the office politics. So I was like, it got to the point where I was waking up every morning, I was dreading to do that 10 hours, and I would just come home so drained. So I was like, man, let me just try to refocus, go elsewhere, come back closer to home where I got family and friends support, and try to do it with people that I feel as though can make teamwork, make the dream work.
Is there anywhere you want to have properties? I know you mentioned having multiple. Is there any other areas? I know Baltimore City is a perfect area to start with. Any other places, any other states, cities?
Down south, preferably in Florida and Atlanta, because
and
Texas.
Yeah,
because the real estate is so cheap down there. I had family members that had moved to Atlanta. I had friends who's in Texas. Specifically, I know people that's in Tampa, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, and Houston, Texas. And you get so much bang for your buck out there. Like, it's crazy.
And that's not, again, like for vacation purposes or for like retirement purposes. People like going where the weather's nicer.
Mm-hmm.
So you had people migrating to that area, especially Atlanta, because all the things that Atlanta has going on.
It's popping for the culture right now.
So,
question: would you do one of your properties? Have you thought about making it like an Airbnb or something like that?
My next question.
Not my property that I have now, but in the future, in a better neighborhood or somewhere where it's more appealing and have more entertainment for people to go to and surround itself with, yes. Currently, no,
Yeah.
but I would definitely do that in the long run.
That's where the question came from. Once you mentioned, Atlanta and Texas and stuff, I was thinking, that's smart. You feel me? That's a tourist attraction within the United States. So you definitely get a lot of looks.
Yeah, in the long run, I would definitely do that. And you can Airbnb it out 2 or 3 weekends out the month, and that would probably pay your mortgage for the next 2-3 months.
mm-hmm.
Facts.
People actually don't...
Another way you could do it, look into, the little Section 8.
Yeah, I planned on Section 8 my first property. That's that I have now currently. I was going to make sure it was Section 8, and I preferably would like to have a single mother with her child in there, because I'm not going to hit nobody on the head with the rent. I'm not trying to overcharge or anything like that. So I just want to give somebody else an opportunity. If someone needs somewhere to stay, I'm just trying to have somebody in there that's reliable, that got their head on straight, that can make those payments consistently, and don't mind keeping, my roof over their head or whatnot.
Yeah, it's crazy because a lot of people don't really look at it that way, but Baltimore is actually like a big tourist attraction. When you look at a lot of the things that we have to offer, mainly just food in and of itself. I've been able to kind of go all over the world, and I'm fat, so I like to try foods when I go places.
Agreed.
I think Baltimore, Maryland in and of itself has some of the best food that I've tasted throughout just the United States personally. So I definitely understand the Airbnb, because that was my next question as well. Because if you can get something downtown, or in that, like those entertainment areas where you're able to go to the harbor, or I don't really think downtown is what it used to be when we were growing up, like ESPN Zone and stuff like that.
But they're trying to get back to it. You see, they're gentrifying it, and they started it
That's
out with the harbor. Yeah,
it's there's a lot of bills on the. If you were voting, you see a lot of stuff they're trying to do downtown as well.
They started it right there in downtown by the harbor, and now they're trying to stretch it out.
Everything,
from that point moving forward.
Basically Patterson Park East to like Fed Hill West is all gentrified.
That's
that whole area.
Lexington Market is going to be one of the next things. I don't know if you've seen, but I've seen the plans for what they plan on doing.
They have like a
20,
so you know you
20, 30 year plan for it.
Lexington Market is registered in national. It's a historic landmark, so you can't destroy or replace.
They're
trying to
rebuild
rebuild it, but what they need to do is something about all them junkies out there. That's not alleged. That's a real thing.
Yeah, but as y'all know, I'm also trying to pursue the engineering aspect of it. This is actually one of my good friends that I lean on when it comes to certain shit that I don't really understand fully, or just try to, like he said, get somebody that's able to give you advice with certain things and you trust where that advice is coming from. I was actually able to see some of the Lexington Market plans, and it's gonna look like a totally different place. It might as well look like a gated community what they plan on doing to this place. I know the images will never be fully what you see, but it's definitely going to be something. If you've grown up here and you've seen Lexington Market over the years, it's going to look like a different image completely.
Look at Morgan. That whole area around Morgan is all
Morgan
up
is
because of
different.
Yeah.
Morgan has money like no other.
They literally have one of the best
just
campuses in the state, and potentially when you look at HBCUs, they have one of the best.
One of the best HBCU campuses.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yes. They definitely doing that thing.
They
Shout out to
just bought
Dr. Wilson.
Northwood Plaza. They're probably going to be renovating that. I've heard some ramblings of either additional housing or additional school buildings.
A medical school. They're trying to get a medical school.
They got that Bezos money in there, baby.
They got rid of Sonny's, man.
I heard that they were working on something to keep Sonny's.
Hey
right
man,
there,
Sonny's needed to take a break all them health code violations.
But that's getting a health code violation 2 to 3 a year for real. They
had the best food though.
They had the Takashi 6ix9ines too up there.
Used to love going there at the class, but Morgan is the lead and one of the leaders, university and HBCU wise, and black engineers.
Indeed.
So now with the Bezos and Mackenzie Scott money, they're trying to build black doctors now too. And in my opinion, you can only respect it.
Yeah, definitely. I shouted her out last week on the show.
She definitely didn't have to do it, but it's not like she only did it to Morgan too. It was
Howard. She did a couple different places.
Yeah, I definitely respect what she did.
See, ladies, getting cheated on isn't always a bad thing. Remember that. It's not. Hey, it's not, ladies. Just because he left you, as long as you got the money, hey, you can do something with it. She giving back.
We on Disqualified Opinions do not always agree with the antics.
Let's be honest. How many of us up here ordered something from Amazon in the last 2 weeks?
Black
Exactly.
Black-
Bezos is good, and his wife is good. Hey, everybody's happy. He's helping out the black community, the HBCUs.
I think it's her.
Shout
It's
out
not
to
him. It was her. She got half. They
Hey.
ain't no prenup.
Hey, Bezos still on it, right?
Well, no, he actually doubled. So he gave her half, and then he doubled up the money.
That's how you know when you rich. When you like, I'm not gonna be outdone. I'm a stun on my ex-wife again. I already cheated on her. She know I cheated on her, so I'm gonna outbid her. That's what's up. I need to get like that. Shout out to Bezos.
But
man.
mind you, that was a charity for her. So
Facts.
by it being charity,
Tax
it's
write-off.
Just think about
tax
that
write-off.
write-off.
Oh my
Facts.
God,
But at least she put the money to a good cause, even though it's also going to benefit her. But
Yeah,
it was a win-win
She's
situation
gonna
with
get
what
all
she
that money
did.
back. She's gonna get all that money.
I mean, not all of it.
They don't get all of it back,
Yeah,
but
you know how that
you know
works.
how.
But she
I'm
gets
not-
to keep more of it now than what she would have if she didn't donate.
For sure.
Her
For
tax rate is going to be significantly lower, if any. What Jay said, my account's so good, it's like I'm living tax free.
Yeah.
It's that.
That's
It's one
her.
of those.
That's her.
It's one of those.
She fine. She set for the rest of her life. She ain't gotta do nothing. She's the richest woman in America, right? If I'm not mistaken.
In the world.
She's even better. I mean,
Off
when
of
you think about it, you
divorce.
had the richest man in the world. You cut that in half. That makes sense. Not saying nothing against women. I think y'all have equal rights and y'all should be able to make as much money as y'all can. But we all know Jeff Bezos money different. I do think that up until now though, him and Elon Musk are kind of neck and neck for richest man in the world currently with everything that Tesla is doing. You also have Apple who are trying to make a smart car as well. I don't know if you guys have seen that. We all know Apple is a juggernaut.
Yeah, but that money isn't directly tied to one individual like Tesla is
Oh
to
yeah,
Elon Musk.
yeah. Any other questions you guys have for Miles?
How can they keep up with you if they want to learn more? Maybe just see how you went about it. Got questions or anything like that?
Oh, okay, yeah. Mainly social media wise, I'm on Instagram. My personal Instagram is 100_miles 100_miles, and my rental property page is Maddox Properties LLC. That's Maddox MADDOX Properties LLC. And on that page, I pretty much post the rehab process of the houses. Well, I plan on doing the rehab process of all the houses that I plan on having, but for right now, I show bits and pieces of work that I do right now on my first property before I decide to rent it out.
We'll have that at the bottom for all of you people who thought that was too fast.
Figure it out.
Bro, you got anything else you want to say?
Nah, yeah, I'm on his Instagram page right now.
Facts. So y'all gonna tap in with them?
Appreciate you coming through, bro.
Yo,
Yeah, no
group
problem.
economics is a
Anytime.
big thing. Black economics, we need to take care of ourselves. So shout out to Miles. Like I said, I've known this man since Pilot. He's definitely been on the right page and only going up. So I'm proud of his success. Follow him, follow us, like, share, subscribe. Anything else, fellas, before we get out of here?
Thank y'all for having me too.
Anytime.
Definitely appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Had to get you
dog.
back for a sports segment.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna talk some stuff about some Ravens.
I don't want to talk about the Ravens.
Till next time on the enTRAPreneur segment. If you want to tap in with us, you want to be on this segment, email us. What's it? Disqualified opinions.
At gmail.com.
Hey, I love that unison. So next time we gone. Follow Miles, and we'll be back real soon.